Hello, today we are going to try to build KDE software on macOS. So this is a macOS machine. I have the web browser. I'm searching for the official website of the KDE community, which is kde.org. Under this hamburger menu, there's the Get Involved page. And then in here, there's the page which tells you how to develop KDE software. And then we have the way of building software from the KDE community on various operating systems. The better supported ones are Linux rolling release operating systems such as Arch Linux, OpenSUSE, Tumbleweed, KDE Neon, and Fedora KDE Spin. But we can also build on other operating systems. So this thing, the BSDs, Microsoft Windows, Apple macOS. There's also Android and the Haiku open source version of operating system that's similar to BOS. So let's go to the macOS wiki page. In here it says that there is a KDE build framework that's named KDE Craft, which we need to use on macOS. First of all, we'll want to install it. And once installed, we're going to use the instructions on how to use the Craft KDE build framework. But first off, there's specific instructions for setting up Craft depending on operating system. We're going to need a terminal. Where is that terminal? The terminal is under Applications and then the subdirectory Utilities. It's called Terminal. Double click to open it. Let's make it use a quarter of the screen. Okay, so we're on the macOS operating system. We're going to need C programming language and C++ programming language compilers, which are not installed by default. We're installing them usually using this command line, xcode -select --install. We'll install a subset of the Xcode integrated development environment for macOS, the first party from Apple. Install, agree. "42 hours remaining to wait." Okay, so the progress bar finished, says that the software has been installed. Done. Next up, we need to install the latest version of the Python programming language. So that's Python 3.12. Let's go download. Into downloads, a pkg file, save. It appeared in the dock, in the downloads icon. Like this. So it's a pkg. Let's double click on it. Has a graphical user interface installer wizard. Next. EULA. Next. I agree. Install. Sudo password. Okay, and now we'll want to make HTTPS clients written in Python work, which will require that the SSL HTTPS certificates available on the operating system, which is macOS, are also available in Python. Okay, so that's done using certify, install certificates icon in the Finder window. This one. Double click on it. I pressed the enter key. It says process completed. So I guess that's it. I'm going to close this terminal window. I'm going to also close this Finder window, and this is the last page of the graphical user interface installer wizard for Python. We're going to go close. Move to trash. Okay. Back to the instructions on installing KDE Craft. So says Python 3, the command line tools for Xcode, which we did. And then it says that you will receive errors similar to certificate verify failed if we don't run install certificates command, which we did. So this part remains. Okay. So now it does curl a file from GitHub, which is craftbootstrap.py. That's being saved locally as the file setup.py, and then it's running the Python 3 interpreter, and then setup.py with the directory where all of the craft files are going to be installed, which is in my home directory, craft root directory. Okay, it says in here that craft will be installed into /craft root. And now we'll need to select either Qt 5 or Qt 6, and says that the default is Qt 6. So I'm guessing that Qt 6 is better supported. So I'm going to press enter. Target architecture, not ARM, going to press enter. Do you want to enable colored logs? Default, yes. Press enter. Craftmaster.zip. clang compiler. CA certificate authority certificates. Zip file. wget git latest. So it's downloading and installing many pre-built for macOS Intel 64-bit tarballs, archives 7-zip files, and then it's extracting them into /craftroot and subdirectories from there. Compression libraries, lib, lzma, ICU, the Unicode libraries, gettext for internationalization, SQLite for embedded SQL database, another version of Python, Python 3.11.7, It's installing some Python modules such as pip, virtual env, so done with Python 3, sed, terminal notifier for notifications when building a module finishes. It has downloaded a 7-zip extractor. So installing KDE Craft seems to have finished correctly. Now we're instructed on how we use KDE Craft after installation, which means we should enter the Craft environment by running this command line or this command line. They're the same. And then we run the rest of the KDE Craft command lines, which are specified in here. Okay, so let's begin. Let's do what it says in this example in order to make sure that we can build at least the KDE desktop graphical user interface application for the calculator, so KCalc. Let us zoom a bit the terminal font. From the main menu of the terminal, view bigger. Okay, so we have entered the Craft environment. We are greeted with this message. So it says that we're using the CLang and CLang++ compiler for macOS x86-64, and that we have pre-built KDE Git repositories packed as binary archives at this URL, files.kde.org/craft/qt26 2404 macOS CLang x86-64. So this is the KDE Craft cache for my current KDE Craft setup. Okay, so the usage after that can be Craft, and then the name of a KDE Git repository, KCalc. So this downloads pre-built binary archives for Broadly, which is a compression algorithm for what else? PCRE, the GTK library glib, text info for manual pages, help to man, and then we have Qt6, Qt base, Qt shader tools, Qt language server, Qt declarative, which means QML. Built with the CMake build configuration rel with deb info. The version is 6.7.1, which is a very recent version of Qt6. LLVM. Qt tools. Qt. And then KDE frameworks, starting with ECM extra CMake modules, KCodecs, KGUI add-ons, K-internationalization, PCRE, K-archive, XSLT library docbook, KEUTH, KDE framework. libvorbis, audio encoding, audio codec library. David, AV1, file format, FreeBD, ZMIG, FFmpeg, media playing framework, Qt speech, Qt SVG. So it's trying to install kcalc, which depends on many KDE frameworks, and those KDE frameworks depend on many Qt 6 modules, which depend on many open source libraries. At the very end, after it has installed from pre-built binary tarballs all of the dependencies, all of the KDE Framework 6, Qt 6, etc., it downloads MPFR, which is a GNU library, which seems not to be available as a pre-built archive, and it's building it. This is verbose, probably it's using the GNU toolchain. So auto tools, auto make, GNU make. You can see the compiler, clang. It's a C, not C++ library. Okay, now it's building a KDE Git repository, which is kcalc itself. .80 translation units, and then it's running make install or ninja install. And that's it. Kcalc has been, the source code for the KDE Git repository kcalc has been downloaded at a certain version, so it doesn't download from Git, it downloads a source code release tarball 24.05.0. Let's see where thing is. This thing. Download kd.org stable release service 2405 src kcalc and then the version and then .tar.exe. So this is a source code archive, whereas most of the archives that KDE Craft has downloaded since now were binary archives, not source archives, with the exception of MPFR, which has been downloaded as a source code archive, which needed then compiling. Okay, the configuration step is cmake and then use cmake generator ninja. And then the environment variables are passed with -d, minus uppercase D. So cmake prefix, cmake install prefix, rel with deb info, which is a default cmake build configuration, which means optimize for release builds, but also generate debug symbol files. Okay, so this was the cmake ninja step. It has found all of the needed dependencies. KDE frameworks version 6, crash config, config widgets, GUI add-ons, internationalization notifications, XML GUI. OpenGL. The two GNU libraries, GMP and MPFR. And then comes the cmake summary. All of the required packages dependencies have been found. And then it's compiling, so building the build step, which is just a Ninja command line without any command line parameters. 80 translation units. It's doing translations. C++ compilation to .o files, linking steps to .a files, Qt code generation, MOC UIC RCC, mock again. This is a Qt RCC executable, resource compiler, kcalc.qrc. It's generating macOS specific operating system icon format, which is this part, kcalc.icns, so icons file. It's building Qt tests, sim tests. Says that the library Qt core was built for macOS 11 and it's being linked for macOS 10.15. Sure what that thing means. Okay, and the final step is the installation step. So it takes the build artifacts, the executable translations, icons, files, etc. from the intermediate directory where the build takes place and copies them over to the final destination, which in this case is a .app file, bin/kcalc.app/contents. Translations. Docbook, which is the product manual, the offline product manual. And that's it. We should have a macOS style application for kcalc. Okay, so we have finished compiling kcalc from a source code release tarball, this command line craft kcalc. Now it's time to actually run the application. Let's see the ways in which we can run. So we can use the command line open, and we need to provide the .app extension file, which we could either search in here or we could use autocompletion. this thing. So open. Paste. So tilde / craft root / build / KDE utils kcalc image really with debinfo and a different version. This is probably for KDE gears 230801 versus 2405.0. Let's see if this command line is correct. It seems a bit redundant because it says /user / administrator twice and /craft root. Does not exist. Okay, let's actually do a code completion. Alt backspace does not work for deleting an entire word. So KDE utils kcalc image with debinfo applications KDE kcalc app. So the instructions on the wiki page are the correct ones. Okay, let's see what we can see in here, if we can see something. This theme is extremely strange. I'm not sure if there's black on black text in here. Hopefully not. So kcalc has the main menu where we can switch to science mode, such that we can compute square root of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the color scheme is wrong. So this is some grayish color on black. Okay, let's look at the main menu. About KDE. Let's see if it works. So all of the links in the About KDE dialog seem to work okay. It's using what seems to be macOS specific widgets or specific themed widgets. This is Qt widgets, the close button, the tab bar with the tabs centered. The About KDE, which is in main menu, kcalc, About kcalc. Scrolling works. These icons for URLs are visible, which is a good thing. Okay, and even icons for emails. Okay, next up, donate. So these are just URLs. Report bug. The icon for the close button seems to be too high up, so not centered vertically, whereas also this icon is not centered vertically, so it's too up. Guided, kcalc, and version. That's correct. This dialog is not modal, which I'm not sure is a good idea. How do you get at the dialog once it's buried? I don't know. I'm not sure how you show dialogues that are not modal on macOS, because I don't see it appearing in the dock. Maybe in here under Windows, but so once you hide it, that's it. You're not seeing it back, although it's just buried. Okay, find action. It's not modal. That's a problem. Should be modal. You can actually click on the buttons on the main window when this pop-up is open. Okay, next up, the product manual, which is available offline. Once you have the application installed, under the kcalc main menu, help, and then kcalc handbook F1. Although it has been built, I can see it being built somewhere in here. The online product manual is being shown instead, which is okay. Maybe the KDE help viewer was not is not available on macOS, or hasn't been built or downloaded as part of building kcalc. So that's okay. Search. Okay, this built-in functionality in macOS works, where you can search the main menus of an application. Also in here, the close button is not centered, it's too way up. So maybe this is a macOS thing. And the question mark icons are too up. it's finding about kcalc, but it's not finding about KDE. So this, I guess, is a bug. Yep. Report. So it doesn't find any of the elements from KXML GUI, I'm going to guess. Only finds these kcalc main menu elements that are part of most graphical user interface applications in macOS. So there's probably two class citizens in here. So first class citizen being this guy and maybe this one, and second class citizens, all of these elements in the help menu, for instance. Preferences. Yes, we can find preferences. Undo, redo. Undo, redo. PI. Let's see if it finds PI. Yes, it does find PI. Science. So it finds all of the items except some from here, from help. Maybe because it makes no sense to search in the current menu under help. I don't know. So none of these items work. Searching for donate, about KDE, report bug, find action, what's this, kcalc handbook. But for the rest of the items, it does work. So constants, buttons. Let's go keyboard. Yes. Okay. Maybe that's the way it's implemented. Searching in an application's main menu in macOS. Command C or Option C. What's this? Command. So when testing on macOS, you will get a better experience if you either use Apple hardware, or if you're using a virtual machine, you should have a Apple style keyboard with the Apple keys, so Command key and Option key and you should also have muscle memory for the common keyboard shortcuts that are used on macOS, such as the Command C for copy. Okay. So the application has been built correctly, it runs correctly. Maybe the theming is not the best because macOS is using a dark theme. I say it's not the best because at least this one I can discern is not okay. And also maybe you don't want black text on gray buttons when you're using a dark theme. Maybe all of these text should be white on these grayish buttons. At least the tooltips seem to use a sane color scheme. They're almost white. The text is almost white. Okay, back to where we were. Okay, so let's see this thing where applications that are running in graphical user interface mode, which are not connected to any terminal, have all of the three Unix standard streams, standard input, standard output, and standard error, connected to /dev/null, not to the terminal for input and output. So we're starting the application. How do we open a new terminal? A new tab. Like this. And then we're going to list all of the open files. Look only for the process kcalc, and maybe even we want to pipe through the pager. Okay, so at the very end of the lsof listing, we can see the 3 standard Unix streams. So the file descriptors 0, 1, and 2, which are connected to /dev/null. So you cannot, for instance, see the output from the Qt debug logs framework in the terminal because both standard output and standard error are being sent to /dev/null and lost. Okay, let's make it such that we can actually see the output. Or let's open with double click the application. So it says that we should open the Finder. And we need to paste the full path until the app file. So that's this thing. How do we paste in here? Go to folder. Control V. Not gonna work. Okay. And in here we have kcalc.app. We can look inside of this directory. So kcalc.app is not a file, but a directory. So we can look inside. There's the contents and macOS directories in there with the executable. And ICNS resources. Okay, we can click on kcalc.app, double click on it, this guy, and it's going to start the kcalc application in graphical user interface mode, the same way as opening it using the command line open. Okay, in order to actually see what's the application writing at the standard output, standard error, etc., we don't want to look at the .app file, but we actually want to look at the macOS executable file. So this one. This one. Let's see how that is done. So KDE, auto-completion, and it's it. We can already see a Qt debug logline. Okay, more debug loglines. Okay, let's see very verbose debug logs, but not from the Qt framework, only from the KDE community. So this says write all debug log lines, but no debug log line from the Qt framework. So it's the previous command line, but we have this prefix. What am I doing? Control left does not work. Home key does not work. Maybe we'll need to use Emacs style readline shortcuts. We're using probably the shell right now. So right click, paste. And do some actions in here. And we probably also want to format the log lines to have also the timestamp available. Let's see how that is being done. Control C will close the application because it's connected to the terminal. Let's see if export works under the shell. Okay, export did work. Now each debug log line is formatted a bit with more data. So not just the text, this part, but also it's saying the timestamp, so date, time, milliseconds, process ID, process name, Qt debug log line category, category, yes. And then the debug log line level, in this case it's warning. And if we have debug symbols, which we totally do, maybe they're not part of the app file. They have been stripped or something. That's why we have in here, we don't have the file, the CPP source code file full path, and the line and the function or C++ method name. Okay, so all of the debug log lines, which previously were printed just the log line message, now they're prefixed with this part. Okay, so that's about debug log lines. How we start the macOS application, either by using the open command line and then the full path to the app file, or we double click on the app file, for instance, in Finder or other macOS file managers, or we can actually run the executable kcalc that's inside kcalc.app from a command line. This way, the 3 Unix standard streams are connected to the terminal, not to /dev/nor. Let's see. Okay. So standard input, standard output, standard error are connected to dev TTIS 3 zeros, not to /dev/nor. Okay, then we can have the option of making installable files, which we can then install on other computers. Let's test this. So craft -- package kcalc. Okay, so it tries to find debug symbols for all of the libraries dylib files that are being needed by the kcalc executable. So as we saw, the kcalc.app directory has extremely few files, doesn't have any dynamic library file in there, doesn't have debug symbols in there, but all of these things did exist when building kcalc. All of the dylibs, all of the debug symbols. Okay, says that it could not create a DMG file for kcalc. Because I see warnings, but I do not see any errors. For each KDE application inside of KDE Craft, you need to have a recipe where it says how it needs to be the Git repository of kcalc, the source code, and or a source tarball of kcalc, how it needs to be changed in order for CMake configure to succeed on macOS, in order for building to succeed, in order for installing to succeed, in order for the creation of the DMG file to succeed. So you need two types of continuous improvements to the KDE Craft recipe for kcalc. One, make it build and make it continue to build once new versions of KDE software are released. And the second one is to shrink the DMG file by removing unneeded dylib files or other dependencies. And also you want additional nice to have integrations with macOS, which you can do probably by patching the source code, by using ifdefs, etc. So this creating the DMG is working in a different kcalc.app directory. The first one that we have used, the one with image rel with debinfo, has extremely few files, whereas this one has thousands of files. For instance, there's a ton of dynamic link libraries in the frameworks directory. including Qt frameworks. There's also Qt and KDE frameworks plugins. And a large number of executables, mostly command line executables, such as the file compression command lines, bzdiff, bzgreph, bzip2, protlib, bunzip, the ones for audio video codecs, such as David, dbus, a ton. So part of the creating the DMG, it's actually putting together all of the files that might be needed by kcalc when kcalc runs. And then you will need to go with a very fine comb and remove all of the files that are not really necessary. For certain, the executable for David is not required by kcalc. Or even maybe none of these dbus ones. The internationalization get text ones for certain. Okay. Next up, we're going to use the instructions for KDE Craft now that KDE Craft is installed correctly on my operating system on macOS. The first thing that we're instructed to do is that there is a command line for searching packages. If you don't know maybe the exact name, let's see if we can build KDE Kate text editor. Says that there is such a thing, a package named Kate. It has various versions of it, master being a Git clone, whereas these ones would be source code release starballs. Okay, then we can go building. We can uninstall a package. There's a command line for rebuilding, reinstalling all of the packages that have been installed using KDE Craft. And then there's special directories for the source code. So where in this case, a git clone of, not a git clone. So we have built kcalc from a release tarball. Let's actually see how these things work. So changing to the source directory CS of kcalc. How do we do? No command kit. So I have installed KDE Kate from the official packages from the KDE Kate project. It gets installed into /application/kate.app, and the full path to the executable that's inside the .app file that we can actually run from the command line is /application/kate.app/content/macOS/kate. And I'm starting from the command line kate with as parameter dot, which means the current directory, we want to see what's inside the source code directory of kcalc. Okay, so the name of the directory is kcalc2405.0, which again is not a KDE Git master branch, but a KDE source code release tarball. This is the source code of kcalc, very similar to what you would get if you do a git clone of the git master branch. kcalc.cpp, and at the end, the main function, this thing. Let's increase the font size. How do we do that? From the Kate main menu, view, and then enlarge font. And one more. Okay, so that's the source code of kcalc. Let me actually copy this thing. Okay, so that was the source directory for KDE Craft kcalc. Now we're going to change to the build directory, so the directory where cmake has been run in order to build files and generate source code. How do we see the files in here? Tools. We're going to need the plugin for file management. Where is that thing? Main menu, Kate preferences, plugins, file system browser, apply. Unfortunately, there's this issue where Kate asks for the apply icon from the theme Breeze icons, so the default icon theme from KDE, but then Qt has built in some GNOME icons, GNOME 2 icons, and it's preferring to pass to Kate the application these GNOME 2 icons instead of the icons that are included inside of the Kate application, the default KDE icon theme, which is Breeze icons. So that's why you're seeing so different icons, which are not even monochrome. Okay, let's see. A typical CMake build directory. There's a bin directory where you will have the executable, so kcalc in this case. This one. And files which are generated by the Qt framework. It's 3 executables, UIC, RCC, and MOC. You can recognize them by the file prefix qrc underscore for the ones generated by qrc executable, MOC underscore for the ones generated by MOC executable. Okay, so that's important, knowing how to navigate to the source code directory and to the build directory of a package. At least for kcalc, the craft -minus package kcalc command line has failed, could not create a macOS DMG bundle. So there's this feature in KDE Craft where only, if possible, the packages that you provide at the command line or the craft command line are going to be built from source. So the command line that we have used is craft kcalc. So kcalc, the KDE Git repository and module, will be built from source, in this case from the default kcalc recipe recipe possibility, because it can also build from KDE Git master or from other previous source code release starboards. But the rest of the dependencies of kcalc, if possible, KDE Craft tries to download pre-built archives of it and just unpack it. And that's because KDE Craft tries to download as many files as possible, but to build as little files as possible in the name of speed. So in order to shorten compile times, because, for instance, KDE Craft is being used at the continuous integration jobs for KDE Git repositories. And in there, you want everything to be as fast as possible, because there's a limit on how many minutes a CI job can take. And with the correct caching and Docker containers, etc., maybe even the downloading of the pre-built archives and expanding them can be, I don't know, cached or made faster if none of the dependencies actually did change. So if the archives to the binary archives for the dependencies of kcalc did not change in the last days, then maybe if the continuous integration job runs kcalc, runs the command line craft space kcalc 2 days in a row, maybe the second time it's way faster because everything has already been downloaded, cached, installed, etc. Whereas the other KDE build framework, KDE src-build, will try as much as possible to build everything from the newest source code Git repositories branches as possible. So if I'm running the command line KDE src-build kcalc, it will git clone the Git master branch of the kcalc KDE Git repository, but also the other Git master branches of the KDE Git repositories or of the KDE frameworks version 6, etc. The other dependencies are installed from the operating system binary packages, so Qt and other libraries that are not part of the KDE community or the Qt framework, such as for kcalc, the two GNU libraries, MPFR and GMP. So KDE Craft is significantly faster, orders of magnitude faster than KDE src-build kcalc. Okay, so let's try to build Kate, let's try to run it, and that should be it. So we run craft --, search. Let's run it again. it finds it and says that the versions are 3 source code release tarballs and a git master git branch and another git branch kf6. And the version that's going to be downloaded and built and installed by default is this one, 2405. Okay. Then the second command line that we're going to run is craft kate. So I'm expecting to have many pre-built archives being downloaded from the cache. Text widgets, which is a KDE framework. Declarative, origami. Parts. Syntax, highlighting. And now it has started, it has downloaded the source code tarball for 24050 of what is it doing here? So it couldn't find inside of the cache a pre-built archive for the KDE application console. So it needed to download the source code tarball for console. It has checked that the checksum of the file is correct using the SHA-256 file that's in the same directory. And then it's doing the cmake-configure ninja install 3 steps for the KDE application console, which is the KDE terminal application, graphical user interface application. And that's used by Kate in the terminal tool window. Still building KDE console. Qt charts, a Qt module, kuser feedback, a KDE frameworks version 6. Okay, what's it doing now? It has downloaded the source code release tarball for Kate, checked with the SHA-256 file, configure step, ninja, which is the build step, .600 translation units. Okay, we'll be back once it finishes. And the compilation and then the ninja install step have finished after 2 minutes and 48 seconds, really fast. And now we can, we probably also have the kwrite application and the Kate application. Let's see how we can run the application. Where is it located? applications, KDE, Kate, how many? So there's a macOS.app app directory for kwrite and another one for Kate. So kwrite is a limited version of Kate with less plugins installed by default, a simplified text editing experience, whereas Kate is more geared towards developers and people that use and edit source code regularly. Kate.app. So we can open this thing. Where are we? With the open command line. What did it actually do? Keep in dock. So the application Kate I have downloaded as a nightly DMG file, and I had it already running. So when I tried to open the KDE Kate 2405.0 build using KDE Craft, the application has started a bit, so that another instance of kcalc of Kate text editor is already running, and then it told that instance to get into the foreground, so to get above other macOS windows. And then the application that I have started using from KDE Craft has stopped. So this is the single instance implementation. Whereas if I close all of the Kate processes, it doesn't seem that the version of Kate that I have built using KDE Craft actually runs. So maybe there's an issue building. Yes, AUX grep Kate seems to say that there is a Kate process actually running. So I'll try to close this process first. So the similar command line that we would use on Linux also works on macOS, kill -9, and then the process ID of the process. So this process has finished running. Let's try to open it again. The same thing, it's bouncing in the macOS dock, not showing any windows, and continues to run. So we need to kill it again. So select and middle click paste seems to work correctly on macOS. Select text in the terminal and middle click paste. So I have started the executable file, which is this one, from the command line. And I also have formatting for the execute debug log lines. Does not say anything interesting. There's no evident debug log line that says that KDE Kate has entered a busy loop or failed to start for some reason. We can see that the process is still running, trying to show the main window. Yes, the macOS operating system is not that well supported by the KDE community. There's not enough persons in the KDE community that regularly build KDE software using KDE Craft or that run regularly the nightly builds of KDE software created by the GitLab continuous integration. There's not enough patches and refinements for KDE software such that it runs as well as possible on macOS. So this is it. This is how, if you have a macOS operating system machine, might be a virtual machine, you can build KDE software from multiple versions, from KDE release source code tarballs, or from the master long-lived Git branches such as master, and in this case for Kate KF6. Thank you.